Art Focus is a program about the brightest and the most current developments in the fields of art and cultural life in the country and in the world. It is a report about the greatest cultural events like musical concerts, festivals, art exhibitions and theater premieres. You will be able to visit the most interesting theater sets as well as workshops of famous artists, and you will also get acquainted with the best art representatives and learn the secrets of their crafts together with the Art Focus program. Art Focus is always in the focus of the brightest events. Recently, the opening night of a new play of the Artichoke Theatre, titled Modern Times, has taken place in Almaty. The basis for the staging the plays was provided by the film script of the same name by Charlie Chaplin, the premiere screening of which was held in 1936. The play is rich in thin interweaving of humor, sarcasm and pantomime. In this play, I act the part of radio journalist Richard Merriman. It's a very interesting character. The action of the play takes place in England. My character is a quite famous person in the radio environment. At some time, he meets Charlie Chaplin in the air. This is how their relationship starts. The man of one era meets the legend of another one, and a sort of conflict arises between them. This conflict happens at almost all levels concerning the world outlook, actions and tacts. In general, my character is a nice enough person. Of course, he wants to have a fame, money and career development, just like what many people do today. It was difficult for me to play the character who doesn't understand anything in Charlie Chaplin's movies at all. He doesn't see their main point, only some wrapper. He does not go into the essence of what the phenomenon of Charlie Chaplin is, and doesn't conceive his philosophy completely. Each personage in this performance strives to recreate the character of Charlie Chaplin in several ways. The first thing that I tried to do on stage was getting into the role. I attempted to find the image of Charlie Chaplin, the image of the Trump. I consider Charlie Chaplin as one of the founders of pantomime, and this is an entire era of the whole history of cinematography. This is a very fascinating play. We had to finish our work on the performance in a short space of time, and we did it within a period of 10 days. In such a short time, it was difficult to learn something important for oneself. However, the more we play, the more I love this performance. And that's because it is an amazing story of a human kindness, which in our days is considered as a sign of weakness for some reason, and it's horrible. Actually, I think the character created by Charlie Chaplin is very kind. During rehearsals, we came to a conclusion that he is the absolute of kindness. Yet to my thinking, to be evil, displeased all the time and treat different things badly is quite easy. Much more effort is needed to behave with kindness, generosity, with a big heart, and this story is exactly about it. In spite of everything, his character keeps loving people and life. Despite all the incredible adversities dumped on him, he has nothing to eat, no place to live, to sleep. He doesn't let these circumstances deprive him of his inner kindness nevertheless. I think it's admirable. There is definitely something for us to learn from him. Besides, it is a potent performance for us as artists. Acting in this play, artists can be who they are, do everything on their own, without a real necessity to use lighting and sound. The main instrument for an artist is his or her body and soul. We can exist on stage without everything, and it will be still interesting to watch us, and that's great. Recently, the international art contest fiestalonia Almaty has taken place in the cultural capital of Kazakhstan, and it's been organized by the leading festival committee in Europe, Fiestalonia Millennium. Over 1,000 participants arrived from different countries have competed in 3 categories: instrumental, vocal and choreographic. The Fiestalonia Almaty contest is being held for the 4th consecutive year already. This competition is an event of international significance, to which more and more people from different countries are coming. It is increasingly being popularized. Moreover, we are developing exactly the educational component of the contest, since apart from the motivational aspect for children contestants, it is important to teachers as well. This year we engaged professors from the Gnesian Russian Academy of Music and Moscow State University of Culture, who gave vocal masterclasses. In addition, we invited a fabulous flamenco dancer who came from Spain and gave choreography masterclasses as well. All the contestants will receive personal diplomas. Besides, we are going to make each of them an interesting offer to take part in international contests in Italy, Spain, France, Great Britain and Georgia. It will be a unique opportunity not just to prove oneself, but also possibly to gain a victory on these stages and present one's own culture, talent, in front of an audience of many thousands. Furthermore, we provide the winners with grants and the opportunity to study in conservatories in Europe. And it's really important, since the international jury has assessed a very high level of training of the participants from Kazakhstan. Thus, all the stages across the world are open to them, and we will be delighted to host these fabulous participants presenting their amazing culture in Europe. The main tasks and goals for the contest are consolidating cultural relations between the Republic of Kazakhstan and the European Union, increasing the level of performance of groups and discovering new names and talents, cultivating a creative atmosphere for professional interaction among participants of the contest and thorough exchange of experience, and also attracting famous music producers for organization of further touring activities around the world for participants of the festival. Creative competitions are highly important for children and the rising generation. They cultivate the sense of responsibility, inner energy and ability to perform on stage and strengthen cultural traditions of a country. In order to get an opportunity to take part in these contests, it is needed to have a strong and persistent character. I am overcome with emotions. This is my first international contest. To tell the truth, I didn't believe in myself, but this competition has given me confidence. Now, having such a result, there is a lot of work to do, and I will strive to move forward. Such contests are really helpful and particularly needed. The guest of our program is artist Mukhit Akanay, who works using various styles and techniques, from graphics and book illustrations to 3-dimensional collages. In addition, he is developing such style as a doll and art object modeling. In my works, I am interested first of all in conveying comprehensiveness and some landscape immersion. I look at a picture and its details, and I feel like I'm traveling through an unknown land. I mean, I behave like a discoverer, so I have to wander. I would like to see in this picture depth, which I would wish to explore. And my aim is first and foremost to achieve it in my works. Among the artist's last works are illustrations to the books The Kazakh Epic and Almaty's Way. I had been familiar with the themes of the Kazakh folk epic, with some details and key distinctive features of the characters. Thus I just had to complete them a little bit, and then depict it artistically. On the whole, the simplest technique was used here, that is making composite characters, drawing on some known facts. For instance, I know that a character is tall, strong and so on, but then my fantasy has to begin working on. A collage is rather a game. You may take some old things or press cuttings, trash of all kinds, anything, and out of that you create something. In fact, a collage is a soft construction of something. It is like a window, in which you combine all of the details to see the whole picture through it. In order to make a collage, it's enough to have the sense of composition. But the main thing is to have an imagination. During my childhood years, I played with various assembly kits, and I was eager to construct something and make it work. Also, I was interested in assembling from different technical devices some fantastical images such as robots. One time, an older mixer tab caught my eye. It was a usual mixer tab that can be installed in anybody's bathroom. So this tab and two tab handles reminded me of a bird, a being with two legs and a long neck. It could be an ostrich or some other bird. I began to develop this device, attaching various details. I used some detail of a microphone and a skimmer. So all these things in combination let me make an image of some peculiar creature. Over a long period of time, I have been engaging in graphics. This is the main way of the expression for me. When you work using one style for a very long time, you realize that you have already depicted on paper the world around you. However, something has been missed in your works, some things you haven't managed to picture. Since there is no possibility to demonstrate the volume of an object, I start making a collage then. Later on, watching the ready-made collage, I realized that this volume is not enough. There is a desire to make it look more alive. So in this case, I move from a two-dimensional object to three-dimensional one. And then these images turn into dolls or installations. Eventually, the drawing that has been only on paper, and it has been possible to see the details just from one position, becomes an installation or a collage that let me demonstrate the whole composition from different sides. Using various artistic techniques is really helpful in my work. It would be wrong to work on only one form of artistic realization, as some technique is always useful for another one. Mukhit Akanay is a member of the graphic department of the Kazakhstan Academy of Arts. He is the winner of the international youth contest Shabit held in Astana, and a participant of exhibitions of modern art in Austria, France and Japan. His works are stored in collections of Canada, Hungary, Austria and the United States of America, in the Museum of the First President and private collections. Being an artist means being aware of one's own talent and striving to develop it, to do it every day, not just once a week, but every single day, purposefully making it one's own life, breath, and engaging in creative activity every day.